Good afternoon. Phil Lindeman with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. And the title of first mechanized skiing in North America goes to Andes Tower Hills of Minnesota, elevation 1,300 feet. Tower Hills opened today at 1 o'clock Central with $10 tickets to the Bunny Hill, served by a carpet lift. On Facebook, one guy argues, let's not count tow ropes and magic carpets, to which another guy says, all lifts matter. Average home price in Summit fell for a third straight month in September to $1.27 million. Zillow reports home prices across the West have been falling most of summer, while prices out east, especially in Florida, have been growing. But this comes after a stratospheric boom. Summit Realtors shows average price today is 35% higher than in 2019, 91% higher than 2017. Summit County's moratorium on short-term rentals is still in effect through January, giving staff time to revise its rules. Planners say most revisions will be easy to enforce. Not so easy is a rental cap of 135 nights.
Administratively, we would have one of the more complex short-term rental programs in the country, if we did go this route.
That was County Planner Jessica Potter. She says they trust most rental owners to abide by the cap, but they cannot rely on the honor system here. It will strain enforcement. The ink is dry on a contract for interim county manager. Summit wants to hire Philip Gonchak, current chief of police in Seal Beach, California. Commissioner Elizabeth Lawrence.
I think this is a good positive thing for Summit County to have an interim manager, and am anxious to get started.
Even if Gonchak said yes today, he would not start until November 21st. He will serve through this coming July. A dozen people were booked or cited by Summit Sheriff's deputies last week, including 3 for criminal trespassing. 2 more were arrested for domestic violence, including a man charged with 5 other crimes, including child abuse, harassment, and assault. The second unrelated domestic suspect, a woman, is charged with telephone obstruction and theft. For 3 years now, Summit County has been without a local canine narcotics team. Sheriff Jamie Fitzsimons says that hurts.
Even though I'm a huge advocate of harm reduction and treatment, I'm also a huge advocate of we can't allow this poison to continue to pass through our community.
Joining the sheriff's office this month is Babe, a narcotics dog paid for by an anonymous donor and trained to sniff out everything except marijuana.
The highways and interstate going through Summit County are going to be the main focus, but the dog is absolutely on call to any deputy or local law enforcement officer from any jurisdiction.
Dozens of marijuana sniffing canines were decommissioned in 2019 when a Colorado court ruled their findings could be dismissed. The newest fire engine in Summit County is coming online right about now at the Red, White, and Blue Fire Station in Blue River. Firefighters welcome the engine with a push-in, where they literally push the 20-ton vehicle into the firehouse, using nothing but manpower. Local fire danger remains moderate today, still with no fire restrictions here in Summit. And in local sports, brought to you by Red Mountain Autos at their new location on Airport Road, playing the biggest game of the season today is the Summit High soccer team. Seniors Jonah McCata and Trevor Hodges.
Obviously, Eagle Valley is like a super team this year. This is probably the peak of at least our high school careers, I would say. So, we really want to win this.
On the line tonight is best record in the league and automatic entry to the 4A state tournament. The Tigers tied with Eagle Valley last month, 1-1 after 2 overtimes in Gypsum. Head coach Joe Twan Daniels.
This is mountain soccer. These guys are competitive. No one wants to lose those games against their friends. No one wants to lose those games against their rivals. Everyone wants to represent their school and their community to the highest of levels. And I think both teams do that so well that sometimes we have stalemates like the 1-1 draw that we had at their place.
Game time is 6 o'clock at Summit High. Phil Lindeman with your Krystal 93 News from Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery.